In this video, we'll learn about how to factorize a quadratic equation. Now, before we factorize, let us learn what is a factor. Now, this is very essential for us to understand what is factorization. Now, a factor can be defined in two or three different ways. For example, let me take one of the way and explain it. I'm going to divide 10 by 2. Now, if I divide it, I'll get it as 5 as a quotient and my remainder will be 0. So this should be always an integral value, right? An integer. I should not get any decimal. So when I divide one number by another number, I'll end up with one integer as a quotient and remainder 0. Then the denominator is the factor of the numerator. Or we can also define as 10 is by 2 is equal to 5. You can say that in 2 table you'll get 10 as one of the value. 2 into 5 is equal to 10. So if the numerator belongs to the table of the denominator, then the denominator is factor of the numerator. For example, let us again take a number 10 by 3. I can divide this. I'll get 3 as a quotient. I'll have 1 by 3 as a remainder. So this 1 is my remainder. Now 3 is not a factor of 10. And as you can see, 3 table, if I do 3 into 3, 9. And if I go for 3 into 4, that will be 12. So 10 does not belong to the 3 table. So these are the two ways where you can define a factor. So I divide the given number by the another number, and if my remainder is 0 after getting an integer in the quotient, then the denominator is the factor of the numerator. So where 10 belongs to the 2 table, then that is also it can be taken as the factor. So 2 is a factor of 10. Now let us see how we are going to factorize a quadratic equation. Now quadratic equation, the general format of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c. So this is a quadratic equation where a cannot be equal to 0 because x square term makes it as a quadratic equation. So x square cannot be 0. So ax square plus bx plus c is the general form of a quadratic equation. Our objective here is to factorize it. That is to find the factors of these equations. Right, there may be two factors here. So what we are going to do is we will be factorizing it with the help of a product sum approach. Now, again, before I explain this method of factorization, let me discuss about this table. Now, when you find the roots, we call it as zeros of the polynomial or roots of the equation, where we will have two equations or two roots here for a quadratic equation. Sometimes they may be equal, sometimes they may not. Now, I'll have a product of the numbers. I'll have sum of the numbers. This is what I could take it from the given equation. Now, using this, I have to find two numbers, A and B, which will be the zeros of the given polynomial. Now, the different possibilities of me getting this product and some of the numbers is the product may be positive or the product may be negative. So, there are four different possibilities where for two of the possibility it is positive and for two of the possibility it is negative. Now, for this positive, my sum may be either positive or negative. My sum may be either positive or negative. So, this is how we have four different possibilities. Now, as long as your product is positive, the moment you see that your product is positive, we will be adding the two numbers. Here, we will add, that is, we'll find the sum of the two numbers. The moment you see that the product is negative, all you have to do is, you have to find the difference between the two numbers. Right? That will help you to find the numbers. Right? We are going to find A and B. So, when the product is positive, we will be finding the sum of two numbers. That will be equal to the value of this. And if the product is negative, we'll be finding the difference of the two. Now, if this is positive and this is positive, both the numbers will be positive. If this is positive, both the numbers will be negative as this is negative. We are adding. So, only if you add two negative numbers, you'll end up with a negative sign, and when you have to multiply two negative numbers, that will be positive. Now this is where you have to be careful. When the product is negative, one of my number is negative and one of my number is positive. Who's going to be positive and who's going to be negative? If my sum is positive, the larger number, let us assume A is always greater than B. So the larger number is positive, smaller number is negative. If my product is negative and sum is negative, my larger number is negative and my smaller number is positive. So let us try factorization few of a quadratic equation. Let me take a basic quadratic equation. I have x square plus 4x plus 4. So I have taken a quadratic equation x square plus 4x plus 4. Now remembering the steps will be making it again easier. This is coefficient 1. If there is no value, it is a coefficient 1. So my step 1 is to find the product of the two numbers. Again, our objective here is to find the numbers. There are two numbers that we are going to find. And so rather than finding the number directly, what we will get first is the product of the numbers. So you have to multiply this coefficient with the constant term. So 1 into 4. So this is 1 into 4, which is equal to 4. The second step is to find the sum of the numbers. So I have two numbers. I'm going to find the sum of the numbers. So this is the sum of the numbers. You have to take along with the sign. Even here, you have to take this along with the sign, and this also you have to take along with the sign. So the sum of the numbers is equal to 4. So as discussed in the previous table, we have the product as positive, the sum as positive. So both the numbers are going to be positive. So the step 3, my step 3 will be writing the factors of my product P. I have a product value 4, which is the product of the two numbers. Let me write the factors of the two numbers. So 1 into 4, this is also, we'll end up with 4. 2 into 2, that will also give me 4. And then I can go for 4 into 1, which is again the same number. By commutative law, 1 into 4 and 4 into 1 remains the same. So these are the two possibilities. So my numbers will be either 4 and 1 or 2 and 2. So these are the two numbers. Now my sum of the numbers has to be plus 4. So if I add these two numbers, I'll end up with 5, which is not 4. If I add these two numbers, I'll end up with 4. So this is the right number. So now we have to split the middle term alone. That is the sum value. So you have to split it as x square plus 2x plus 2x. So the 4x I have written as 2x plus 2x plus 4. Now this is my equation. Now we have to group it as 2. The first group will be the first two numbers. The second group will be the second two numbers. Now doing this group correctly will make this very easy. So what we'll do here is to find the common of these two numbers. We are going to apply distributive law and take a common factor out. So there are some difficulty. So what we can do is to avoid the difficulty, we can write it as x square is equal to x into x. And my 2x is equal to 2 into x. Now just take the common. So there is only one x term that is common. So taking that x outside, the remaining will be, here I have only one x plus, the symbol plus is written here, and I have this 2 left out. Now if we have done this correctly, the next step what you can do is you can put a bracket here and write the same term, x plus 2. And you can just write the same term here. Now take this first term, 2x, divide by this term divided by x. The remainder will be your value here, and add the sign that you are getting here. Here you are getting positive, so we are taking it as positive. While taking this term, you have to take it along with the sign. Now again from these two, this is a plus b format, right? This is a single term plus this is a single term. So from here I can take this x plus 2 commonly out. This x plus 2 can be commonly out, and the remaining is again x plus 2. So these are the factors. So I have the same factor here. So I can write this as x plus 2 the whole square if it is required, but there are two factors. Both are the same factors, which is x plus 2. Now we'll try to solve few of this question. Let us take the first question. What we have here is x square plus 5x plus 6. Now the first step is to find the product of the number. So I have to take this as 1 into 6. So step 1, product, I write it as P. Product is equal to 1 into 6, which is equal to 6. My step 2 is the sum of the numbers, which is plus 5. This is equal to plus 5. Since both my product and sum are positive, my A and B will be positive. So finding the factors of 6, I have 1 into 6, 2 into 3. That's it. So if I add 1 plus 6, I'll not get 5. Adding 2 plus 3, that will give me 5. So 2 and 3 should be my factor because 2 into 3 is 6 and 2 plus 3 is 5. So I'll split the middle term and write it. For example, so what I'll have here is x square plus 3x plus 2x. You can write it anyway. Even you can write it as 2x plus 3x. That will not affect the final answer. Only thing is the way you are going to simplify it will differ. Plus 6. So now, again, as stated, the first two terms has to be grouped together and the second two terms has to be grouped together. So writing the factors of x square. So x square I can write it as x into x. And 3x I can only write it as 3 into x. So the common terms here are only the x. So again, I'll take the x commonly out and I'll have x plus 3. That is x left out here plus symbol and 3 left out here. Then I can put a bracket here and write it as x plus 3 as stated before. The same term you can write. Now take the first term and this first term including the sign. So plus 2x divided by plus x. So I'll have 2 here, which is plus 2. So just put the sign as plus 2, which is 2 into x plus 3. Now taking x plus 3 again commonly out, we'll have x plus 2. So these are the factors of x squared plus 5x plus 6. Let us take the question number 2. What we have here is 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. So let us try to solve this. So there are other way to do it. For example, whatever I'm explaining here is a detailed way so that the errors are reduced. Maybe let me solve this in the other way. For example, you need not do these steps. This could be avoided. Anyway, if you know the common terms, taking out the common terms very well, you can avoid this term. So 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Now my product is 2 into 6, that is 12. My sum is plus 7. So both the numbers are positive. So my roots are supposed to be positive, both the numbers. So 1 into 12, 2 into 6, 3 into 4, then 4 into 3 will come. So commutative law, so I'm not going to write those terms. So this, if you add, you'll get it as 7. So 2x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 6. Now there are so many shortcuts to do what? I'm not explaining the shortcuts. Rather, we are doing the exact procedure in a detailed way. So here, 2 and 3, there is no common factor. So I cannot take 2 out or 3 out. So it is only one number, that is 1. X square and x, I'll take x commonly out. So this will become 2x plus 3. Now here, again, 2 is common. If I take 2 out, again it will become 2x plus 3. So this will be 2x plus 3 into x plus 1. This is the shortest way. That is, I didn't write this. For example, we were writing 2x square is equal to 2 into x into x. Then 3x is equal to 3 into x. The common term was only x. So we have written it here. Then this is 2x, which I have written, plus 3. The symbol here and plus 3. So instead of doing this, we have directly arrived at this value by taking the common out. This could be also employed if you can do it without a mistake. Now let us go to the next question. The question we have is x square minus x minus 2. So that question we have is x square minus x minus 2. Now my product here is 1 into minus 2, which is minus 2. My sum here is, if there is no number, you have to take it as 1. So sum is minus 1. As you can see, the moment I see my product is minus, from the table you should know, right, instead of finding the sum of the two numbers, I should find the difference of the two numbers. And since my sum is negative, my larger number is negative. My larger number is negative. So now let us find the factors of 2. You don't have to worry about the minus sign. We have analyzed that and we have taken the conditions according to it. So 1 into 2 is 2. That is the only number I can get. So 1 into 2 is 2. So if you take 1 into 2, it will be 2. And if I subtract the difference between two numbers, that is 2 minus 1 is 1. Since my larger number is negative, I'll have plus 1 and minus 2 as the roots. So this will become x square minus 2x plus x minus 2. Now employing the same method, I can write x square first two as one group and the second two as the other group. X square can be written as x into x and 2x can be written as 2 into x. Again, the x will be common. So taking x out, I'll have x here minus here. So x minus 2 left out here, x minus 2. And as already discussed, it is x minus 2 directly, whatever is inside this bracket. Now divide this plus x by this plus x. I'll end up with 1. So this is plus 1. So x minus 2 into x plus 1. This is the factor of the given. We have x square plus x minus 12. X square plus x minus 12. X square plus x minus 12. Again, my product is minus 12, 1 into minus 12. My sum is plus 1. So since my product is negative, I have to find the difference between the two numbers and my larger number is positive because sum is positive. Now the factors of 12 are 1 into 12, 2 into 6, 3 into 4. Now, whose difference will be 1? Here you should not add. That's why this is very, very important. Because if this is plus, we'll add these two numbers to check whether we are getting this value. Here we have to subtract. That is difference between the number, irrespective of the larger number sign. That is been already taken care of. So 4 minus 3. Difference between these two is 1. So these are my factors 3 and 4. Since my larger number is positive, minus 3 and plus 4. So this can be written as x square minus 3x plus 4x minus 12. Employing the detailed approach, I'll group it into two different terms. So x square can be written as x into x, minus 3x can be written as, or I'll take only 3x, minus we'll take it that. So 3 into x, again the common is x alone, x into, this is x, minus 3. Now writing the same here, x minus 3, we have to divide 4x by x, that will be 4, which is plus 4. So we'll end up with x minus 3 into x plus 4. This is the factor for the given equation. Now, even though I have few sums here, I'm just leaving that for practice, which you can practice and try whether you are getting the answer. Thank you. Happy learning.